All right, well, good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us here on location along Normal Boulevard this morning. With me is Lincoln Transportation and Utilities Director Liz Elliott, local business owner Dave Stopa, and Tracy Core. All right, people are happy we're here. Tracy Core is president of the 40th and A Street Neighborhood Association, and I'm very pleased to say she's also a member of our advisory committee on transportation. We're here because investing in streets is one of our communities and my administration's top priorities. And streets are a top priority because they promote public safety, economic development, and our high quality of life in Lincoln. We're here today to celebrate tomorrow's completion of a major street improvement project in Lincoln, Normal Boulevard from 33rd to 70th Streets. The new normal is a smoother, better street. As our street construction season comes to a close, we're excited to announce that 14 projects will be completed by the end of 2025. We're as thrilled as you are to be nearing the end of our street construction season. Completed projects like this one on Normal Boulevard make it easier, safer, and more enjoyable for our community members to drive to work, for children to get to school, and for customers to support our local businesses. We really appreciate our community's patience as we've made this important progress in Lincoln. So here to share more about the City of Lincoln street improvement efforts is Lincoln Transportation Utilities Director Liz Elliott. Director Elliott?
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Mayor. I don't have to tell anyone here in Lincoln that our team has been busy this year. If you drive, bike, scooter, or walk, you've seen our city and contracted crews at work. Construction to improve our infrastructure may be a temporary inconvenience, but it is a clear sign of long-term progress. After months of hard work, Lincoln is on track for safer, smoother streets that will serve us far into the future. Let's take a closer look at how we improved our street network in every quadrant of the city this year. In addition to Normal Boulevard wrapping up tomorrow, completed Lincoln on the Move projects include Northwest 12th Street from West Adams to West Highland, 17th Street from A to S Streets, South 14th Street in Southwest Lincoln, and improvements in the East Ridge neighborhood. Through our regular transportation infrastructure budget, which includes other sources of funding, we completed several other projects this year, including Nebraska Parkway in Southeast Lincoln, improvements to First and Oak Creek Bridge in North Lincoln, West A Street, maintenance improvements on A and Randolph Streets in Central Lincoln, and improvements in the Pound Middle School neighborhood in South Lincoln. Not only that, but we are just 2 months away from completing 4 additional street improvements. Those projects that we anticipated to be completed by the end of 2025 include improvements in the Arnold Heights neighborhood in Northwest Lincoln, 56th Street from Spruce to Van Dorn, improvements in the Vintage Heights neighborhood in Southeast Lincoln, and Pine Lake Road in Southwest Lincoln. 2 final projects are currently under construction on 40th Street and Adams Street. Both of those projects will wrap up in 2026. Altogether, our community is benefiting from a grand total of over 58 lane miles of progress this year. Now, here in the Midwest, we have a shorter construction season due to seasonal changes and extreme temperatures. Our team makes every effort to minimize construction impacts by planning around city events as well as school and sports calendars. We also provide the public with tools for planning their trips around town, including our project's website, closures maps, and our newest service, text updates on street projects. You can find all of these resources at lincoln.ne.gov. We also encourage people to download the Waze app. Our team updates this free app with street closures daily, and our users can bypass construction when using the app. Thank you, Lincoln, for your continued support. for your patience during construction, and your care around work zones. Together, we're making a safer, stronger city for all. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Director Elliott. Thank you to you and our teams at LTU, along with those private crews that have been helping to get all of this progress made. Our city team engages with our community as we undertake this work, and we're really grateful for the engagement of community members like Tracy Core, president of the 40th and A Street Neighborhood Association and a new member of the Advisory Committee on Transportation. That public group guides the City on Street projects and Lincoln on the Move street investments in particular. Tracy, thank you so much for your service, and thank you so much for being here this morning to talk a little bit more about what this project means for your neighbors.
Good morning, and thank you, Mayor. I'm honored to be here today as a proud resident of this community. Seeing this project and many others completed is truly exciting. The improvements are not just noticeable, they're transformational. Normal Boulevard is smooth, and the final street markings will soon be shining bright, and the entire area feels safer and more welcoming. What's especially meaningful is how this project has made the neighborhood more accessible. It's now easier for everyone to get around, whether you're walking, using a mobility device, or just enjoying a stroll with your family. Yes, we had some short-term inconveniences, but today shows it was all worth it. And I have to say, being able to turn left again on Normal is fantastic. What's even more encouraging is that this is happening all over Lincoln. The city is making thoughtful investments in all 4 quadrants of town. It's clear there's a real commitment to balance, equity, and long-term progress. This is a great step forward for our community, and I want to thank everyone who made it happen.
Well, thank you so much, Tracy. Appreciate you being here today. Director Elliott named another street improvement project that recently was completed, and we want to highlight that success. That's Nebraska Parkway. Nebraska Parkway is a major mover of goods and people in our community, and Body Basics owner Dave Stopa knows this firsthand, as his business has been located just off the Parkway for the past 37 years. Dave, thank you so much for being here and for all you do to grow economic opportunity in our community. We're really pleased to have you here to share a few thoughts about how that project on Nebraska Parkway, its completion, what it means for you and your business. So thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. From one major arterial street to another, our local business community also relies on safe streets to get customers, employees, and goods to and from their stores. I don't think I'm on the... Sorry about that. I'm wrong. Apologies. Thank you, Mayor. Street improvements don't just happen in one area of town. They lift the whole city. When streets are smoother and safer, it makes a difference for everyone, whether you're commuting, running errands, or visiting local businesses like mine. Body Basics sells residential and commercial fitness equipment. Our business has been a staple along Nebraska Parkway and in Lincoln community since 1988. We've seen a few things. And we've seen how much good infrastructure does matter to us as well. The improvements on Nebraska Parkway are a big win. The potholes were definitely a biggest concern, and now the street is smooth and solid. It's a noticeable upgrade, one that we definitely appreciate as we travel that street often through daily deliveries of our equipment and goods. What's really exciting is knowing this stretch will stay in better shape for longer, especially with less semi-traffic now going through that street. And that was made possible by the South Beltway expansion too. That's also a big plus for everyone who drives in the city, it being lasting longer. Body Basics is a destination shop. We're proud to say that during the constructions, our customers still found their way to us. Maybe a slight inconvenience, but there was always good direction provided by the crews. We don't believe the construction negatively impacted our business.
Thank you so much, Dave. And we appreciate your patience with that major work that's been done. We're so pleased that it's up and running and helping support your business and many others in Lincoln.
Very nice.
As we wrap up this construction season, we really want to thank the public once again for their patience as we've made progress on our streets in every zip code. We're excited to complete these street projects and keep everyone in our community moving forward. Again, as Director Elliott said, you can visit our website to keep track of our progress on a day-to-day basis at lincoln.ne.gov. And with that, we'd be so happy to open things up for questions from the media. Yes, Anthony.
So there was obviously a lot of different projects.
I'll let Director Elliott explain more on the specifics of what you're just talking about, but we're keeping people on the move. Hearing that kind of feedback from the public, we did go to our transportation team and ask that question. And what's important to realize, but what's harder to see on the streets, is that some of the work done in that clustered area you mentioned actually had to do with a water main that was breaking, and we couldn't ignore it. We had to go there even though we had tried our hardest to plan to keep the project spaced to minimize impact. But sometimes, you know, a breaking water main, we have no other choice but to answer the call to fix that. But I'll let Director, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Frustration with people where they would turn one way and there was more construction.
Right.
Maybe it wasn't
The one exciting thing about the city of Lincoln, right, there is a lot going on, and there's a lot of improvements and progress being made, whether it's the city projects, Lincoln Electric System projects, Black Hills Energy, or a number of other projects that are going around. We do our best and do everything that we can to coordinate with those other partners across the community and try to time projects as best we can. Some things just don't go like we would like. As Mayor said, a couple of those unexpected closures were due to water main breaks or other emergencies other private utilities had to deal with. And so we try and plan these out. Unfortunately, street projects take years in the planning and design and funding. And so once we get started, it's hard to just stop in the middle of a construction project and open up a street. So we encourage everyone to stay updated with the Waze app. That is updated. We also have added to our project's website, because of what we're hearing, we now are including some of those other partners' projects, what we know about. We don't know or control all of those, but we've added those to our projects page as well. So people have an even more detailed, robust understanding of all of the work going on across the city.
road surface question.
Okay.
So behind us you see like an asphalt surface.
Yes.
When we're talking about Nebraska Parkway, I noticed that was put down
Right.
as concrete. What is the difference? Why make a difference instead of just going with either asphalt or concrete?
Absolutely. So there's a multiple of factors that go into play, but for this one, there's actually a concrete base. And so what we did was we made some concrete base fixes, but we decided for longevity purposes that we would do an asphalt overlay. So what that allows us to do is, as the asphalt wears down, we don't have to necessarily do a full reconstruction in the future. We can mill off that top layer of asphalt, but the base is still good. So it kind of gives us even longer longevity on roads like this. But sometimes that's not appropriate in all cases. Nebraska Parkway has a lot more heavier vehicles, and so we continue just with concrete throughout the entire street infrastructure there. Residential streets are a little lighter and a little easier to do asphalt, so you might see things that are different there. So it really depends on the type of street, the condition of the base structure that we have to work with, as well as just the vehicle volumes. It does. The heavier a vehicle is, the more wear and tear there is on streets. So getting the semis off, as Dave mentioned, is a big help for Nebraska Parkway. But we still have a lot of semi traffic in that area. We still have a lot of garbage haulers and delivery trucks, those types of heavier vehicles that have just a little bit more wear and tear on our streets.
All right. Any other questions? All right, well, with that, I want to thank again our guest speakers. Thank you for coming. Thank you for your patience. Thank you to the public for tuning in for this update on all the progress and the near completion of so many street projects across our community. Appreciate your patience, and please continue to give our crews safety as they wrap up this construction season. Thank you.